Something is approaching and will certainly happen. But what exactly, no one knows. No one has managed to predict Vladimir Putin's actions. Soon, the course of events will be revealed. But what preceded this? Let's analyze. We can start perhaps with the USA. Why do you think, in so many movies about aliens, humanoids attack the United States so insistently? Alien creatures have no secrets. Recently, the most talked about issue was about them wanting to save the world. Hysteria in Washington about a supposed Chinese air balloon they believed was spying spread globally. Airspace in various regions of the United States and Canada was closed. Military aviation was activated, and something was shot down somewhere. Western media have successively published photos of mysteriously bright objects in the sky. In addition, bright balls appeared in the sky over China, regions near Russia, without any comments from Chinese authorities about their appearance. Ignoring current problems, it is possible to imagine that highly developed minds from a distant galaxy have observed what is happening on Earth and realized the need to save humans from themselves. Thus, they came to establish order, which could be the best situation for us. However, let's keep our feet on the ground. Discussions about UFOs are on the rise, especially due to the silence of the military and the supposed objects they were investigating. This confusion was skillfully exploited by experts in technical language. It seems like they wanted to divert the public's attention from more pressing issues, such as, after all, who is responsible for the interruptions in the transmission lines in the north? What is the meaning of this unknown state? The truth is that UFOs are simply unidentified flying objects, with the key word being unidentified and not alien. When the military was forced to admit that they were knocking down hot air balloons, and not spies, but rather simple scientific balloons, the subject quickly lost relevance. Where would we be without our neighbors? After all, as the saying goes, every barrel has its bung. Our neighbor, number 404, also started talking about some extremely dangerous balls with angled reflectors. But in the end, it turned out they were her own products. These balls are used to deceive air defense systems and operate as follows. The spinning compass, tinged with green, swung in the air above the globe, identifying the tracker as a drone or helicopter. Both factions hurled such spheres, so it's no wonder that one of them was carried to the capital, 404, by the wind. Unfortunately, besides the spheres, in capital 404, nothing else was carried by the wind, including the planes from the west. The Minister of Defense for Independence did not succeed at the meeting. Despite smiling and waving a handkerchief with a fighter's image, ammunition, tanks, air defense are welcome, but jets. It all depends on the owner, and he is not in a hurry. Joe Biden's administration clearly opposes the sending of jets, as stated by NATO Chief Julian Smith in an interview with CNN. To maintain a good appearance during a bad game, she noticed that each member country of the alliance has autonomy to choose how to contribute to the 404th. Later, the Munich Security Conference took place, marked by the motto that was inadvertently revealed in one of CNN's headlines. The extreme difficulty of the West is in persuading Putin that he is at a disadvantage. And then the situation becomes more intriguing. But let's pause for a moment. The Russian developer Sovolmash is introducing its own highly efficient electric motor design technology of classes IE3 and E4, called Slavyanka. So far, more than 20 patents have been granted, and the laboratory and headquarters in the Technopolis Moscow Technology Park have received government certification. In the designated government sphere, the completion of the Sovolmash projects and design office construction is currently a reality. Information regarding the project is frequently released in renowned journals and online platforms, such as Forbes, Milpris, and TASS, as well as being covered on television channels like RBC, INI-TV, Russia 24, Izvezda, and various media outlets. At the invitation of the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation, Savolmash took part in the Army 2022 forum. Savolmash technologies, present in power tools, motorcycles, and cars produced in China, have global reach. ROC implementation is scheduled for the third quarter of 2023. The opportunities to purchase units at a low price in the project after the financing concludes will no longer be available. Once converted into shares, the units you acquired will be exchanged for shares of Savolmash company. In this way, the participants seem to be making an effort, but what could be seen from the outside looked more like a failed self-hypnosis meeting. Zelia repeated tirelessly, give more, give, promising everyone immediate success. While the salon applauded in a tumultuous and disheartening manner, the head of the German Defense Department, Pistorius, declared that the 404th should win that war. Rishi and Sunak, with evident British features, shared the belief that the shortage of weapons in Europe is not a problem. After all, they are facing Russia, and when this is defeated, there will be no reason to worry. Subsequently, the Frenchman Pedro Macron expressed his opinion, suggesting the need to change the government in Russia, since the Russians will probably continue to choose Putin or another similar candidate. Secretary General Stoltenberg stated that, although offering military aid could increase the risk of conflict escalation, the danger of a Putin victory is much greater. In other words, he suggested that a nuclear apocalypse would be preferable to seeing Russia disliked by the West triumph. The situation reached a critical point, but was surprisingly eased by Germany's diplomatic department chief, Mrs. Baerbock, who stated, "If the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, decides to change his orientation by 360 degrees tomorrow, the entire world will be happy." Apparently, Mrs. Baerbock was sitting next to Lee Strauss, who continued to challenge the sovereignty of the Russian Federation over the city of Voronezh. Being no secret, it is a relief. Putin will return to square one and continue doing what he did before. But now, with the whole world happy, Dmitry Medvedev, however, spoiled the surprise by declaring on his page, "It's curious how ignorant people govern Europe. In vain you are acting like this, Dmitry Anatolievich. They might start to think that you had something in mind, and it is not appropriate to overload their minds in any way. You see the consequences of this and how these statements end. Therefore, it is wiser not to overload their minds." It seems that the West is starting to realize that important changes are on the way in Russia, and we have no doubt that Putin will make changes. Just examine the events of the past few days. Lukashenko put aside all his matters and traveled to Moscow. The content of the conversation between the leaders of the countries remains unknown. However, one day before this meeting, the Belarusian president declared that Minsk would enter into armed conflict if a single soldier from the 404 army set foot on Belarusian territory. In the capital of the country, the president of the Republic of South Ossetia, Alan Gagloyev, and the leader of Abkhazia, Aslan Bazarnia, were present. In addition, a large rally concert is planned at Lushniki Stadium the day after the message, which suggests the importance and significance of this occasion. Such events would not be held without a significant reason. Let's not speculate for too long, friends. Putin is indeed starting a new party. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to share your opinions in the comments.